Judging by the title, I'm sure you all know what time it is. At long last, we are at the final of the B-rank squads after going through all of our fellow agents. Now you're probably wondering, where in the world is our Fune squad? To answer that, I made the decision to skip over them due to not only being unable to fit them in a theme in relation to another team, but outside of our Fune, not having a lot of detail to say about the rest of the squad. However, if you all still would like to see me cover them briefly, let me know in the comments section down below and I will include them in the final coverage video. As for today's teams, we are talking about none other than Tamakoma-2 and the Ninomiya Squad, the theme being the final showdown. There's no doubt that the most anticipated match of the previous season was round 8, with Tamakoma suffering a crushing defeat back in round 4 and so much on the line, their rematch with Ninomiya brought out the best the series has to offer. Two captains who stood in opposition of each other and one of them emerging victorious. Now before I get started with my usual ramblings, if you could, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications to keep updated on all future uploads. To kick things off, we begin with the Devils in the Suits coming in at B rank number 1, the Ninomiya Squad. Ninomiya Squad is led by Captain Matsutaka Ninomiya, one of Osamu's biggest opponents yet. He's calm, cool, and collected and isn't a man of flashy tactics, but a man of logic and straightforwardness. He can come off as a kind of harsh person, especially when he first met Mikumo, but his skills earn him nothing but respect. You mess around and get caught out of place and he will mow you down, his full attack mode being his main barrage tactic of choice, which has overwhelmed countless opponents. As a shooter, Ninomiya's got the full firepower loadout. His main triggers are composed of an asteroid, hound, and a shield, and a meteor. His sub-triggers contain an additional asteroid and a hound, an additional shield, and a bagworm. One thing I personally believe is that deep down, Ninomiya has a soft side to him, and if they are able to get some answers about Haruhara, it may just come out again. I can't imagine how a loss of a member may have affected him mentally behind closed doors, so hopefully the away mission brings out this unseen side of him. Following up in the attacker position, we have Shinosuke Tsuji. Smooth criminal on the battlefield, but not nearly as smooth with the ladies. I figured that with World Trigger's large cast, we would eventually meet a character who has a little shyness with the ladies. Pretty ironic he's on a team with some of the best agents too. Regardless, he's very proficient with the blade and extremely quiet both on and off the battlefield, allowing him complete focus on top of the situation. Tsuji's trigger set is composed of a Kogetsu with a Senku optional, followed by a shield for his main triggers. His sub-triggers contain an additional shield and a bagworm. Last but not least, we have Mihoru Inukai, a guy with a lot to say and a misleading facade to go with it. You guys ever seen the one episode of My Hero Academia where they introduced a character named Shindo and Bakugo was the only person to recognize that what he was saying didn't really match his facial expressions? That energy is definitely Inukai reminiscent. His attitude has a lot of bluntness weaved through the smiling facade, and it's definitely a characteristic worthy of someone of his fighting style. As a gunner, Tsuji's trigger set is composed of an asteroid and hound assault rifle with a shield for his main triggers. His sub-triggers consist of an additional hound, a scorpion, a shield, and a bagworm. For the team being B rank number 1, I don't think there is anything I'd like to change. Not only at one point was the team A rank, but they are pretty formidable and the tactics are typically sound. I'm almost glad they don't have a sniper because they'd easily be A rank if they did. In short, I just want to see more action of them. Transitioning to our main characters of the story, coming at B rank number 2, we have Tamakoma-2 led by Captain Osamu Mikumo. My second favorite MC of all time, being quite relatable in the full ice category. One of the best strategists in current Shonen Jump and the embodiment of hard work. There are a plethora of good things I can say about just how much I like Mikumo, but to sum it up, he's a hard-working captain. Not necessarily the best fighter amongst the captains, but one who excels in thinking ahead of the curve with a plan in mind. Mikumo's trigger set consists of a Ragus with a thruster optional and a spider for his main triggers. His sub-triggers consist of an asteroid with a shield and a bagworm. Just an FYI, his hound usage, which was used in round 8, was a temporary move. The strategy to utilize that lack of Trion caused a swap out, but it's not a permanent change. Following his captain with elite synergy, in the attacker position comes Yuma Kuga, also having the nickname of the White Nightmare. We can get straight to the point for this speed demon. He's the ace of the team, an extremely experienced fighter given his broad backstory and one of the most creative people in the entire series. His constant evolution of strategy and unique plays from the wire domain to the scorpion projectile makes him the most talented opponent that most people do not want to go against one-on-one, as mentioned by Yuba. To tie it all together, he's got a side effect that sounds really basic on the outside but creates some serious badass moments for him. Just a common flex of how Ashihara's writing can peak again and again for the smallest thing. Kuka's trigger set is composed of a scorpion with a grasshopper optional and a shield for his main triggers. His sub-triggers contain an additional scorpion, grasshopper, and a shield with a bagworm added in. One thing to note is that Kuka back on his home planet used to use these dual daggers connected with a rope. I'm not sure if it's possible, but if Kuka were able to recreate this with his dual-wheeled scorpions plus a mantis type link in between them, I think it would be really awesome just to see how strong he is with his signature weapon. Following Kuka, we have Fuse. Yeah, newsflash, it's not Hyusei. Once again, I learned something new from rewatching the series in dub. Hyuse, while only being on Earth for a short time, fits nicely in the attacker position. His diligent training with Visa alongside his mastery shooting due to his horns and combination with his battle experience made him one of the deadliest unknown variables in round 7 and 8. He used his trigger sets composed of a Kogetsu blade with a Senku optional and a shield for his main triggers. Quick note is that round 7 is when he used the Meteor trigger mainly before he switched it out with Viper. His sub-triggers contain Viper, Iscudo, an additional shield, and a Bagworm. One thing I look forward to see is just what exactly awaits Yusa upon returning home. Will Ashihara allow him safe return and a new alliance with Tamakoma-2 being formed, or will Yusa be returning to Earth with a shocking revelation to come? There's definitely some diplomatic drama on After Crater, so things should not go over so smoothly. Just another reason why I'm looking forward to the away mission saga kicking off in full force. Lastly, coming in at the sniper role, we have Chika on Matori, aka Tamakoma2's canon with a heart of gold. Chika is one of my favorite leads in current shonen. Her kindness, perseverance, deep consideration of others, and shyness have been built upon with her character growth throughout the rank wars. What's more is that her high level of Trion allows certain creative plays that, just like Kuka, catches people off guard. If she were to overcome her fear of shooting others completely or even begin targeting weapons, the sky's the limit for her potential. Chika's trigger set is composed of Ibis, Hound, a shield, and lightning for her main triggers. Her sub-triggers contain a Bagworm, an additional shield, and her famous lead bullet optional for her snipers and Hound. Of course, with Tamakoma2, there is not a thing I can say I want to change overall. They are still growing, and I sincerely doubt we have hit the peak of their growth. There's no telling what strategies the team may come to develop and what new moves may be created in the future. As we all know, Mikumo does not have the shonen plot armor power boost. If there is anything I would want for Mikumo in particular, it's to develop a fighting style that allows him to hold his own a little bit more away from his teammates. Whether it's a unique weapon or something he learns from the neighborhood, something that allows him to be on his own playing field and away from Kuga, will be an extremely satisfying upgrade that I wholeheartedly welcome. Ashihara has plenty of things to get to and plenty of time to do it, so I'm sure in due time there will be a lot of surprises for us to conversate about. In the meantime, let's continue to pray for Ashihara's health and await the results of the away mission exam. I still think Mikumo will fail as mentioned in my post-season 3 video, but the series is full of surprises, so who knows what's to come. That's pretty much it for me though. As always, thank you for watching, and make sure to leave all your thoughts about the Ninomiya Squad and Tamakoma2 down below. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you guys in the grand finale next weekend.